Look, welcome to Terry's Tips, guys. Get a notebook, get a pen. This is a must-watch video if you're looking to increase your personal credit scores quickly. And specifically, we're going to talk about removing collections and the pay for delete strategy. So in this video, I'm going to share what accounts you can use the pay for delete strategy for. I'm also going to tell you the best time when you should use a pay for delete strategy. And then I'm going to walk you through how to do the process correctly. But the biggest thing, guys, is there is a hack that most of you are either missing or not doing properly. So I'm going to share with you what that hack is to help you have better results. And I'll do my success tip at the end, okay? So let's jump right in. What type of accounts can you use a pay for delete strategy for? Specifically for collection, guys. Period. I have people comment all the time. Can I do a pay for delete for a repo, for a foreclosure, for a charge off? No, a lot of times those companies, banks, when you have a repossession, when you have a foreclosure, when you have a credit card that you defaulted on, a lot of times those companies will not do a pay for delete. They're going to go through the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which says they can report a negative item, a valid negative item for 7 years. So this video is specifically for, and the pay for delete strategy is specifically for collections. So if you have any type of negative item, if you have a negative account that resulted in a collection, then you can use the pay for delete strategy to get the collection account removed from your credit report, okay? Now, nugget right here. For all my newbies, I drop nuggets through the entire video. For my vets, y'all already know, okay? So nugget right here. Why would you want to get a collection deleted? Guys, depending on what else is on your credit report, you can literally get 20, 30, 50, I've seen up to 80 points increase on your personal credit scores just by having a collection deleted, right? So your goal, if you are looking to increase your credit scores, if you're going through credit repair on your own, which you should be, absolutely positively, no one should be paying for credit repair. You can invest and pay for training, for coaching, for courses, but you should be doing it on your own. You should not be paying a third party to do credit repair because that does not work. They scam you, they draw the process out, and because you're not educated, you guys pay for something that you usually could have done quicker and for less money on your own. Look, come on somebody, got it good? So this is where when you are going through financial literacy and getting to financial freedom and increasing your scores on your own, a pay for delete strategy is wise because you can get 20, 50, 80 something point increase on your personal credit scores, okay? Now, when should you do a pay for delete? Guys, the best time to do a pay for delete, that strategy is before you pay the item. So many of you guys will have a collection, maybe you paid it, and then you try to negotiate a pay for delete. Now, nugget right here, when I walk you through how to do it, you can sometimes, there are plenty of ways to still get the collection removed, but the best time, look, the best, if I was in person, I'd be like, somebody say the best. The best time to do it is before you pay the item. That's when you have the most kind of negotiating power, right? So if you have a collection and it is a valid negative item, let me give you an example. You had a Macy's credit card, you charged up $1,000 worth of clothes and shoes and whatever. Look, maybe it was Christmas time, maybe it was birthdays, and then for whatever reason, look, no judgment zone here, you did not pay the Macy's credit card back, and so it went to a charge off and then it went to a collection account, right? Macy's sent it to a collection agency. So you know that it's a valid collection. You charge the items, you did not pay the items, they have a right to actually try to get their money back from you, right? To recoup their money, right? And so this is where, let's say you already have been disputing it, right? And maybe you didn't get to this channel yet, so you didn't do the dispute process the right way, or you didn't listen to me and you tried credit repair, so now it really does not work, right? So now you are at the point where you have to try to do something and do a pay for delete, right? Then this is where that's the best time before you pay the item is the best time to negotiate with the collection agency, right? With the collection agency about removing the collection account from your report, right? So collections could be for medical, they could be for utilities, it could be for a defaulted account, it could be a bunch of different things, right? So this pay for delete is the best time to do it is before you pay it, okay? Now, how to do the pay for delete process, guys, and stick around because the hack is something that most of you guys are missing because you're doing all the work on the front end and you forget this very last step, and that's why the item still remains on your credit report. So when you're doing a pay for delete, you're doing it over the phone. I need y'all to get that, right? So there's two separate things here. When you're disputing an account, you're always doing that in writing with all three credit bureaus. When you are negotiating a pay for delete, you're doing that over the phone with the collection agency directly, okay? Now, nugget right here. I used to work for TransUnion. I am the only person making videos and educating consumers about credit, about finances, about financial literacy that used to actually work for a credit bureau. That means I didn't learn third hand. I didn't learn by doing my own credit. I didn't learn by doing somebody else's course. I was trained by the credit bureau. I'm board certified, credit score certified. I'm a certified trainer and I have over 20 years of experience. My videos sound different because this is a wealth building ministry and I focus on educating and empowering you so you guys can do it on your own, okay? So I'm going to walk you through the process the correct way. So number one, get a copy of your credit report. I cannot tell you how many times people come to me and they go through this whole thing about their credit and then we pull their credit reports, the item is not even on their report or it's the wrong company. They've done all these negotiations with this one company who's calling them, but it's a completely different collection agency that's reporting it on their credit report. So success leaves clues. You must know exactly what's on your report. I recommend pulling your report from annualcreditreport.com when you're doing a pay for delete. Now, why? Annual credit report, nugget right here, okay? Annualcreditreport.com is the only website authorized by the Federal Trade Commission to give copies of credit reports to consumers. You will get a free copy. It will be super detailed. It will look like nothing you've ever seen before in your life because it's a consumer disclosure copy. It will not have a credit score. So for this part, for the process of actually doing the pay for delete, you don't necessarily need your score. If you want your credit scores, the correct credit scores, your FICO scores, then I recommend two websites, guys, Credit Check Total or My FICO. So I will put the link to those websites in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. So annualcreditreport.com to get a copy of your report to do the pay for delete process. And the reason why you're using that copy is because it's going to give you the information for you to do your personal sweep. It's also going to give you the information for the collection agency who's reporting it, their name, their address, their phone number. Nugget right here. Always negotiate with the entity reporting the information. So you're going to annualcreditreport.com to get the correct information for the collection agency that you should be negotiating with, the one that's actually reporting it, okay? And then My FICO and Credit Check Total are just so you guys can track your FICO scores. Not Credit Karma, not Credit Sesame, not even Identity IQ. You want your FICO scores, okay? Step number two is once you know who the collection agency is, you're going to give them a call. Now look and see what the amount they're saying is reported is, right? So say they say you owe $1,000. Nugget right here. Usually you can get between 40 and 60% knocked off, right? So you're negotiating a settlement and a pay for delete. You as somebody who's working on your credit, your sole goal for all collections and really honestly even all negative items is to have it a zero balance or deleted. Zero balance is good, completely deleted is better. Let me say it again. Zero balance is good, completely deleted is better. So for the pay for delete process for collections, that's what you're going for, to do a settlement to get the account to zero because they're not gonna remove it if you don't pay it, right? So you have to pay something and then to negotiate the actual delete. So you have a collection, you know who the company is, it's showing you owe them $1,000. I recommend, nugget right here on how to do the pay for delete process correctly, I recommend having at least like 60% of the debt in the bank account, in your bank account the day that you make the phone call. Now, why? Because your negotiating power, guys, is being able to settle the item right then and there on the phone, right? So you're saying to them, hey, I went through a hardship. Listen to my language. You're not being mean. You're not being nasty. You're not cussing them out. You're asking them for something, right? So you're calling them up. Look, ring, 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 right? And they're like, hey, what is your name? They're verifying your information. How can I help you? Okay, well, there's a collection on my credit report. I'm looking to see, what are my options to settle this, to take care of it. Well, you owe us $1,000. Guys, your sole goal was to get to a zero balance with the least amount of money out of pocket. So let's say you have $700 in the bank and the debt is $1,000. Guys, start lower. The goal is to negotiate, right? So start low. Okay, well, I don't have $1,000, but I have $400. Now, don't be disrespectful. Don't have $1,000 debt, and you're like, I got $17.25. Don't do that. They're about to hang up on you, and now you just burned the bridge, right? But hey, all right, it's $1,000. I have $400. Guys, they're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. They're either going to say yes, we will accept $400, or they're going to say no, we will not accept $400, but we will accept $600. Look good, right? Because you had $700, the debt was $1,000. They're going to accept $600, so you saved yourself $400, and you're getting the item to a zero balance. And then you're saying to them, I would like this item to be deleted when I pay it. Can you delete this item? Ask them outright, guys. They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. And a lot of times you'll be able to say, I can only pay this if this item is going to be removed, because otherwise it's not. There's other items that I can use this money for. Period, guys. And for a collection agency, their goal is to collect from you. Listen to what I'm telling you. So the fact that you have the money in the bank, you can settle it today, and you're telling them, I will pay this if you delete it, is a game changer. That's why you have to do it over the phone. When you do it in writing, they're about to just send you letters back and forth, back and forth. They cannot sometimes even legally, depending on what your agreement is with the creditor and the state and the statute of limitations, all those things, kind of put in writing right then and there through a dispute process, that they will delete it. So you need to negotiate over the phone. Now, some tips right here. Always get the name of the person you're speaking to. Always record the date. Always record the time. And then ask them, right? This is the game changer right here too. This is not the nugget, so hold on, right? That you tell them, all right, well, if they say, yes, we will delete this, say, can I get that in writing? Now, you've negotiated over the phone. You just want them to confirm in writing that they will delete it. Why? Because you don't want to give them your money and then they don't delete the item. Come on, somebody. So if they are telling you, we will delete this, I don't care if it's a text, I don't care if it's an email, I don't care if it's a letter. You're saying to them, can I get that in writing? Why? Because you need to hold them accountable. Look, just like law, guys, if you don't have it in writing, it didn't happen, right? And the reason why you're recording the name, the date, the phone number, get their direct extension is because for any reason, if they don't honor that, you go back to the exact person. I spoke to you on Monday, May 5th at 4 p.m. and you said that you would delete this item, right? So you can actually hold them accountable that way. So you're asking for them to send it to you in writing. And once they do that, then you're actually making the payment, okay? That's it. Do not overcomplicate this process. Now, nugget right here. Credit Leverage Lifestyle is an online credit education system. It's an online course, the most comprehensive course on credit and credit repair ever created, period. The most comprehensive course. You can use it for your own credit repair, or if you are a professional trying to get into the credit repair business, or you want to help other people with their credit, it's the most comprehensive course out there. I created the course myself. It has already helped thousands of people across the USA. So guys, this is where it's a system, right? There's an online course, and then we have our Patreon Wealth Warrior community where I do ongoing workshops and Q&A. The two together are a game changer. You get the course and you invest in Patreon for at least 12 months. That way I can support you and give you resources and answer your questions. Most people don't have results because they do the course without support, or they do all the support without going through the course. It's a credit education system. So I will put the link in the description and the pinned comments for Credit Leverage Lifestyle. The outcomes are priceless because the knowledge you get from financial literacy, personal credit, business credit, and learning how to do it on your own so you're not depending on people for the rest of your life is priceless. So I'll be happy to help you, but that option is available. Us talking about pay for delete is one small portion, one small portion of the credit repair process, okay? So you're negotiating over the phone, you're making the payment, you're getting it in writing. Now the hack, guys, that so many of you are either not doing at all or you're missing is to dispute it with the credit bureaus after you make the payment. Listen to me, guys. So many times these collection agencies will take your money, they close the file out in their records, but they do not do their due diligence to go ahead and update your credit report, right? They're not your friends. They don't care about your credit. They don't do their due diligence. So you, when you are financially literate and you are taking responsibility for this, you're being proactive, you disputing it, then initiates an investigation from the credit bureaus to the collection agency. And a lot of times what happens is at that point, they'll say, okay, delete it. Or a lot of times they just don't respond at all. And by them not responding, when you become financially literate, you'll understand that underneath the Fair Credit Reporting Act, when you the consumer, initiate an investigation, they have 30 days by law to respond. So some of these collection agencies will actually purposely just not respond to the investigation. That way it gets deleted by the credit bureau through the loophole, through compliance, right? But if you never initiate the dispute, then the item just stays on your report forever and it completely defeats the process. Now, nugget right here. For some of you guys that have a collection that's a zero balance and you never negotiated a pay for delete, go ahead and do the dispute process to see if you can get it removed. But listen to me. You're not disputing the collection as paid in full. Listen to me, right? It's already showing a zero balance. So you disputing it as paid in full or a zero balance is not going to delete it. Remember, underneath of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, a valid negative item can be reported for 7 years. So a lot of times you guys are disputing it not at all, or you're disputing it the wrong way. You're saying this item is paid, delete it. Wrong. Guys, listen, I have over 20 years of experience. You're not going to understand everything through one video, but guys, success is in the details. The credit bureau is then saying it's showing a zero balance. So nothing is wrong here. And you've now admitted it's a valid negative debt. You've accepted liability because you're disputing it as paid. You didn't say it was inaccurate. You didn't say you're not liable. You said paid. So nugget, after you have paid a collection or after you've negotiated a pay for delete, dispute it in writing with the credit bureaus directly. You are not saying it's paid. You're saying delete this inaccurate account. No longer liable. Inaccurate collection, invalid collection. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not saying paid because the credit bureau is just going to say it shows a zero balance. We can report it for 7 years. Good luck. Now we have on record that you have admitted it's a valid debt. I invited you to enjoy Credit Leverage Lifestyle. Invest in that training system that will change your life. It has dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of results, dozens of testimonials and reviews from people that has been life-changing for. And for my nugget, guys, procrastination is literally killing your success. It's killing your dreams. Guys, faith without works is dead. This is a wealth building ministry. God will give you information, resources, a coach, a course, but you have to take action because the difference, right, is if you don't do anything at all, then nothing changes. If you want different results, you have to do something different. Stop procrastinating. Don't let it be 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years where you just say, I have bad credit. Guys, when you're looking to build wealth and build business credit, then your credit is your financial integrity. It opens up options and opportunities for you to change your life. So stop procrastinating because your new life, come on somebody, is on the other side of you investing in information and or resources to change your situation. So faith without work is dead. Get it done. Amen.